Hi, my name is Johnny Internet, and I'm a baby boomer. Back when I was in high school, this was the kind of toy that we had. Something physical, something that you could take off the shelf and put back on the shelf. Nowadays, this is the kind of toy that you see, and it's the toy of the new generation, Generation Y. My first computer program back in my college days was a program called The Simple Solution to the Rubik's Cube, and I was able to take this and put it onto this. Throughout my entire career, that's what I do. I create technology. I dream up things that are in the world, the real world, and try to figure out how I can get that online, and today, on a smartphone. In the 1990s, I wrote a website called the Athlete Autobahn, and I rolled out 70,000 websites in one day. One for every athlete that ever played baseball, basketball, football, or hockey. In the 2000s, we started a company called Visual Highway that consulted for companies all over the world on how to bring their business practices and make them available on the computer or on the internet. Now that it's 2010, my job is above and beyond writing cool technology for smartphones and for the web. I consult to companies about Generation Y. 80 million workers are coming into the workforce in the next 10 years, and every one of them knows about how to do this and put it onto this. And my job is to help companies to embrace Generation Y as both employees and also as customers. And that's my specialty. And I look forward to coming out and working at your company and helping you to bring Generation Y into your workplace and into your marketplace. Born between 1981 and 1996, maybe as late as 2000, but the people that were born in 2000 are only 11 right now, so we're probably not marketing to them. It's not financial services. They're 80 million strong. They're currently between 15 and 30 years old. They represent 26% of the population. They are larger than the baby boomers. My entire life, marketing was about how old are the baby boomers and how can we sell to them, right? Back in the 60s, it was we're selling toys because there's so many babies. But then as it got older, it was educational tools because the baby boomers were all being educated. And then it was work tools, and then it was retirement plans. But all of a sudden, here we are marketing retirement plans to baby boomers, and along comes a generation even larger than the baby boomers, which are, and we'll talk about it in a little bit, going to be the benefactors of the baby boomers' money. We're being born at a much faster clip, which is why the baby boomer generation was the focus of marketers for so many years. Gen X came along and the numbers dipped, but there's still a strong number of people. But now look at the kids of the baby boomers, Gen Y. Look where their numbers are. Definitely above 3,500 every single year for 15 years. Way above 4,000 during the late 90s. So this is a substantial group of individuals. In this room, while they currently represent 25% of the workforce, and as such, 25% of the buying power, there's 3 of them in this room. So they're somewhat overlooked. And one of the things that we're going to talk about today is why they're overlooked and how we can start to welcome them into our businesses and how we can sell our financial services to them. So my forecast for the next decade is that there will be a borrowing frenzy as a direct result of the Generation Y's desire for the idealistic experience, their craving for the best technology, the best fashions, the best entertainment, the best homes, and the best whatever's next. And the question isn't whether or not they're going to be there, whether or not you should be marketing to Gen Y. They are the market in 5 years. The question is, do you have the technological know-how in order to reach these folks? Because if you don't, a competitor is going to catapult beyond you, and they're going to be the ones that are getting the market. Because you know what? Not only am I watching this Knicks game, but I'm sitting in this chair listening to an iPod with my favorite thing. I'm texting all my friends on my phone. I'm on my computer Facebooking to 2 or 3 potential girlfriends. I'm playing my Xbox. I'm doing a lot of things at the same time. And the way I'm doing it is I'm giving every one of those pieces of technology a short slice of my life, like about a heartbeat. That's it. You got a heartbeat to grab their attention and hold it. If you hold it for more than 5 heartbeats, you're lucky. Because it's not that your message isn't compelling, it's that the Knicks game is compelling and the song is really good, and hey, this girl just chatted back and I got to read what she said, and I got to chat back to her before the next guy chats back to her. So there's a lot going on in their world that, from our perspective, we don't get it. We look at them and see them sitting on the couch for 16 hours going, man, they're lazy. They're not lazy, man. They're working at a higher clip than we've ever worked at. There's a lot of things that
were really traditional for many, many years. And suddenly this new generation comes in and says, well, you know what? That tradition is okay as an option, but I'd like to have more options. So we end up bucking tradition and just kind of adding it to the menu. If you approach Gen Y and you give them a 10-minute talk, I guarantee you they'll get that broken down into a handful of sound bites. And that's just the new reality. And it's a reality that we have to live within, because these are the workforce, and these are the buying force of the future. What's the kid? He's a millennial, right? What's the mom? Maybe a mature, maybe a baby boomer that didn't have the healthiest lifestyle. Right? So what's interesting about this is that you look at this and at first blush you're like, the kid's a punk, right? But let's look at this cartoon from a value perspective. What is the value system of the woman at the door about coming to the dinner table? How important is it, on a scale of 1 to 10, how important is it that people come to dinner? Right? That's a high value, right? How important is it to him? Not very important. How important is it to the Gen Y that people read their blog? Right? That's high. How important is it to her? She doesn't even know what a blog is. She can't read a blog. So it seems like this guy's rejecting her good value system, but in fact they're rejecting each other's. If you think about it, these Gen Ys had as their first language, as their mother tongue, cyber language. Gen X speaks cyber language. Baby boomers, for the most part, don't. But here's where it really gets interesting. So if you're a Gen Y, who are you listening to? Well, first and foremost, you're listening to each other. The world has so much changed with the advancement in technology, the collapse of the economy, September 11, that the world that Gen Y grew up in is unlike any world that any generation before them has ever seen. And nobody understands them. Nobody understands their value system. Nobody understands how they are, because we all grew up in a different world. So they talk to each other. The days of a Super Bowl commercial making a company go from nothing to a dot-com explosion are gone. Gen Y has to buy in not only to your product, but to who you are. And so your company needs to be in line with what Gen Y is in line with. So you can't reach them using traditional methods like radio, television, newspapers, which makes it difficult for you to brand your message to this particular generation. Telemarketers can't reach them on the phone because they don't have traditional phones, and even if they do, they're looking to see who it is before they answer it, and they'll send it to voicemail before they'll answer it if they don't know who it is. They only talk to themselves. If you like our soap, go tell 2 friends, and then they'll tell 2 friends, and then they'll tell 2 friends, right? So how many we got now? 8, right? After 3 generations deep, we've got 8, and then 16, 32, 64, 68, 5, 12, 10, 24, 20, 48, 40, 46, and so on. It takes 9 generations to get into 5,000. But there are kids on Facebook that have 5,000 friends. You tell that kid, and then he posts it. This is a really cool product. 5,000 people know about it instantly. And then all 5,000 of those people, they tell all their friends, boom, you got half the Generation Y looking at your product overnight. I can't believe that Facebook is the do-all and end-all of connecting online, right? It's a social network. Where's the educational network? Where's the spiritual network? Where's the financial network? Step up and they have to understand the value of a hard day's work, and they have to punch a clock, and they don't know what that means, and they don't know how to eat with a knife and fork. And I was like, well, wait a minute. What are they doing? And is it worth our entertaining what their value system is? And rather than try to have them all change, why don't we just change and try to adapt to their work style? It's not like they're lazy. It's not like they can't work. They're communicating at a rate hundreds of times faster than we were. From a business perspective, that's a good thing. So maybe we can learn something from Gen Y as opposed to teach something to Gen Y.